I still I go by Wiz, so
Wiz, that's right.
that's my nickname. So I go by Wiz.
So we can't use your Air Force call sign name, which is Wiz.
Yes, I'm trying to become more relaxed and drop the formalities, that kind of stuff. Especially even with people that I used to work with before.
Exactly, I got you. It's a slow transition. It's a hard transition. I've gone through the exact same thing, and obviously we have history. We were commanders together at a little Air Force base called Vance Air Force Base in Oklahoma years ago. I'm not going to do the open math, but it's been a while.
Yes.
So we have history. We've been stationed together as commanders. You're the mission support squadron commander, and I was the security forces squadron commander at that time. And we've had opportunities, me to come over to your office and sit down and close the door and talk about everything from our squadrons to other squadron commanders to our troop issues. And we've had the opportunity to kind of collaborate and share leadership best practices, and I've always appreciated that in the past, and I think I've told you that. And
Yes.
but I exactly, but I don't think we've had a lot of opportunities to kind of sit down and talk about our heritage. And obviously, being the chairman for the Caribbean American Heritage Committee, that's why we're sitting down today. I wanted to sit down and talk about a part of the Caribbean that we haven't had an opportunity to kind of bring into the committee in past years. I would say the last 3 or 4 years, which is the U.S. Virgin Islands. So again, thank you very much for coming on. And I would like to talk about the Virgin Islands. And but first, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your specific connection with the U.S. Virgin Islands?
Well, so I was born and raised in the Virgin Islands. Born there. Grew up there, graduated from high school there. And it was only once I graduated from high school that I actually came to the mainland. That was my first time coming to the mainland. And I enlisted in the Air Force. Once I enlisted, I saw an opportunity to get my degree, which was the reason why I came into the Air Force. And so I applied to the Air Force Academy. I did not get in right away. I was sent to the prep school. And then after a year at the prep school, I went to the Air Force Academy and graduated from the Air Force Academy. So, yeah, so right now, my mom still lives in the Virgin Islands. I have sisters that still live there, cousins, uncles, just a plethora of family that are still on the island. So the Virgin Islands is still home, and I always, every chance I get, I can tout the Virgin Islands. I'm real proud of the Virgin Islands. I'm proud to be from the Virgin Islands, and I always let people know I'm just a little girl from the islands. And I still feel like I'm that is exactly what I am, a girl from the islands who's made good in the Air Force.
Absolutely. Now, as a retired Air Force colonel, obviously a lot of experience, a lot of professional experience. What experiences and life lessons from the Virgin Islands would you say contributed most to your success as, number one, an Air Force Academy grad and a senior Air Force officer?
I think the biggest thing that I learned growing up was about work ethic. And I learned that not only from my grandparents and my mom, but from the environment I was raised in. I learned that no matter what, if you have a job, you accomplish the job, and you get and you do that job to the best of your ability with excellence. So I learned a lot of that growing up. I would say that I also learned the value of teamwork. I was associated with a lot of different teams. When I was growing up, I did youth fellowship in church. I did the Girl Scouts from the Brownies days all the way to senior cadet days, the senior level. So from the beginning to the end until 12th grade. I did Civil Air Patrol, and I did band. I played in bands. I did my high school band and concert band, as well as majorette band. So I played in the for the majorettes as well. And so having to balance all those things actually taught me time management. Go figure. One of the pictures that I always remember is, for me, school, growing up in school, I had to watch TV to accomplish my schoolwork. So TV was never a distraction for me. It actually encouraged me to finish my homework. And because I was in honors classes, I had a lot of extra homework to do.
Exactly. So a broad background, a lot of activities. You stayed busy, and collectively, all those experiences kind of brought themselves together and helped in your success later on at the academy and in the Air Force, obviously. So that's good to know. And it's funny you mentioned the work ethic from the Caribbean. I've noticed that just talking to other employees at my organization and just friends in general from the Caribbean about work ethic. And there's always been a running joke, from those islands that folks, have 2, 3, sometimes 4 jobs, and they're all working them, working hard at each one of those jobs. But that's been a running joke for a lot of folks from the Caribbean islands, that we are hard workers. So it's funny to hear that.
Yeah, you've even heard it on TV. It's like, hey, if you're from Jamaica, how many jobs do you have?
Exactly.
You've heard it on TV as well. I think it was a matter of survival for us, right? It was how we were able to get things done and able to produce so much with what little we had, especially being on the islands. Each island has its own finite set of resources, and most things are imported. So you have to figure out how you're going to do with what you have.
Exactly.
And in the islands, people build their own houses with their own hands. So
absolutely.
You have to learn how to build your house and do your job at the same time.
Exactly. And I've also found out that, the work ethic is almost a badge of honor. Not almost, It is a badge of honor. And if you're just kind of hanging around and not really producing, then that's frowned upon and looked down upon. So that's cultural, and that's part of our heritage. So that's really proud to see that. So can you tell us a little bit about the Virgin Islands, and what are some of your favorite cultural experiences, favorite food, drinks, music, activities, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, my favorite thing about the Virgin Islands is Carnival. Carnival is a big deal. A lot of islands have carnivals. In the Virgin Islands, we have 3 main islands and we have 3 carnivals. So that's pretty sweet. And I used to, on St. Thomas, the island I'm from, I actually would march in the parades, the children's parade and the adults parade. Wow. With both bands. So I would finish up with one band and then change clothes and come back and go down the street with another band. So Carnival was always a big deal. And I noticed that after I came to the US, to the mainland, while I was in the Air Force, for some reason, my body always knew when it was Carnival time. The last week of Carnival, we would have this event called Juve. We pronounce it Juve. Some people, most stateside people pronounce it Juvert, but we pronounce it Juve. Well, that's a morning when you get up early and you're just dancing to the music and you're following the band down the street. And for some reason, my body always knew when it was that day, because that's the day you did not sleep. And sure enough, my entire time I've been in the Air Force, 30-something years, that day was always a day I did not sleep. So I've been stuck on Carnival for quite a while. And I like it because it's all these new calypso music, and they're always talking about whatever the events are of the day. You're trying to figure out which music has the most danceability, that kind of stuff. And of course, you get to meet friends that have gone away and came back just to visit and get to hang out at night and listen to the music, dance to the music, and eat lots of great food.
Because it brings everyone together.
Yeah.
Food, drinks, the whole 9 yards. It's just a big party.
Yeah, so, I think yours is in December, though.
That's right. December.
Right. Yeah. But in the Virgin Islands, we have, St. Croix has what's called Festival, and that's aligned with Three Kings Day in January.
Okay.
And then St. Thomas has what's called the Virgin Islands Carnival, and that is in April going to May. And then St. John has Carnival, St. John Carnival, and that is always 4th of July.
Okay.
Because that was aligned with, we have in the Virgin Islands our own Emancipation Day, which was July 3rd. So that's a Virgin Island holiday for us.
Okay.
So St. John's Carnival is in line with that because that was the day when the slaves took up arms and rioted against the slave owners in the Virgin Islands. So
Okay.
that became our Emancipation Day.
So, for people who haven't visited the Virgin Islands before, what would you recommend to them for the first time in terms of, hotels, lodging, attractions, food, just general activities? What would you recommend to someone who hasn't been to the Virgin Islands before?
So, as you know, the Virgin Islands was hit by two hurricanes back in 2017.
That's right.
So, unfortunately, some of the hotels were destroyed
Hmm.
and some of them have not come back.
Wow.
Um, so, right now, the best option for most people is to get Airbnbs on the island.
Okay.
The Ritz-Carlton Hotel is still up. So that's a good hotel to go to. Bolongo Bay is still available, so that's another good hotel. I've stayed at both. They're both pretty decent hotels, but most people now are renting Airbnbs.
Interesting.
As far as things to do, that you can't go wrong with any beach you visit on the island, especially on St. Thomas, even on St. Croix. All the beaches are great. St. John, if you're so what happens when you go to the Virgin Islands, you have to decide, do you want to go to St. Thomas, St. John, or do you want to go to St. Croix?
Okay.
And they're a little bit far away. If you go to St. Croix, things like Point Udall is a good location to go to. That is the furthest eastern point in the United States, bar none. Because there's no other point that is farther east in the United States, and they have lots of beaches. You can go scuba diving over
Nice.
at Hotel on the Key, that kind of stuff. St. Croix has two cities, Frederiksted and Christiansted. So Frederiksted is more touristy, downtown area. You can walk around, that kind of stuff. Christiansted is more what we call the countryside. So things are a little bit more spread out.
Okay.
On St. Thomas, St. Thomas has the capital of the Virgin Islands, which is Charlotte de Mali. That's the downtown area. And what you find in downtown areas, especially on Saturdays, is you can find local fishermen and local people. The fishermen have just come in from the sea on Saturday and they have fresh catch. And so you can buy fresh catch, you can buy fish, you can buy lobsters, you can buy, one of my favorite is this thing called shellfish. I don't know what the real name is. I just know it as shellfish.
Right.
But you have to be very careful because you could get poisoned from it.
Oh, okay.
If you eat the wrong stuff
Interesting.
out of it. But there's lots of fresh produce that's being sold and stuff in the market area. So my grandmother, that's how she made her living. She would sell fresh produce and fruits and vegetables.
Takeaway. What are the two things you would like folks to know about? Number one, the people of the U.S. Virgin Islands and the Virgin Islands itself. The two major things.
So the two major things I would like people to know is that the Virgin Islands, because the people are primarily Black, we have experienced a lot of the same treatment that occurred to Blacks in the U.S., unfortunately. However, what I will tell you is that there's lots of smart people, just like anywhere else you go. There's poor people. We have projects just like anywhere else. But at the end of the day, folks from the Virgin Islands really love their Virgin Islands and mostly their beaches. And we are very keen on maintaining the beaches for the public. So you can't find private beaches in the Virgin Islands. They're all public beaches.
Nice.
And the people enjoy the beach. So those are two of the big things where people, just like everyone else, we all want to make a living. And we know that tourism is our biggest economic industry provider. And so we want people to enjoy themselves when they're on the islands.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, Wiz, again, thank you very much. It's been a long time since we actually sat down and talked. I think the last time we talked, we actually had to have maybe about 30 minutes to sit down at the Pentagon over lunch and
Yeah.
just catch up on old times. So I really missed that. It was great talking to you today. Thank you very much for educating us on the U.S. Virgin Islands. And I'm pretty sure after folks watch this video and things open up a little bit here, they're probably going to start buying those tickets and airline tickets and everything like that and heading that way. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your education. Did you have anything else you wanted to add before we sign off?
Yes. One thing I like to say is if you get an opportunity to go to St. Thomas, you have to take a day trip, at least a day trip over to St. John, or just stay on St. John. You can catch a boat, go to St. John, and enjoy the beaches there as well. Lots of plantain ruins over there that you can get tours of and see how the plantations were back then.
Wow. No, that sounds really good. That's a place I haven't been yet, but hopefully we can hook up maybe sometime in the future and you can give us a tour. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I enjoyed this.
Wiz, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. Best of luck as we're both retired now, but best of luck to you as you head to other locations and continue chapter 2 of your life. It's been absolute pleasure. Number one, working with you as an active duty member in the Air Force, active duty officer in the Air Force, and as friends now. So thank you very much for your time, and we appreciate it. Have a great one.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care.